Okay, here we go. We're live. Midwest F1 League. Just let this load up here. 10 followers away from 175. Okay, 10 followers away from 175 followers. That's our next milestone here. 6 views away from hitting our 6,000th soon, hopefully. But 2,000th view on the channel, so please, please, please do what you can and try and promote our little league that we got here. Do it for the guys, do it for you, and as well as I do it for myself, as I surely enjoy what I do. So be sure to tune in as much as possible. Wednesdays and Thursdays is where we sit currently, but feel free to go check us out on YouTube if you crave more Midwest F1 League, as we have all of our race replays go up through there. But anywho, if you can't tell, we are in Russia here this evening. Sochi to be exact. Russia Autodroma. Is it? Just Autodrome. Okay. It is a super expensive facility that has been created a couple of years ago. And Nikki coming out hot with a Prime subscription 7 months in a row for one of our Division 1 drivers. Ferrari man. Ferrari? I should know this. Oh, don't tell me Nikki. I know you're there. So Nikki is Ferrari, yaha. Ferrari man sitting with his teammate Scavney doing a pretty decent job himself. But this evening we are with our F2s. So let's look forward to that. We're gonna start on board. We'll stay on with should I get on to someone else? Mr. Joker is just robotic. Who do we wanna look at here today? You know, let's get on to the man himself, A.E. Daltonian. Currently sitting in 8th place, kind of mixing his way through the middle of the field. They're trying to get into the top 5. AE is representing the Dams. Lovely little navy, I guess the light navy, dark blue, and sky blue. Seems to be sporting a little bit of super softs here. Let's see what he can do. Does move himself up into the top 5, currently ahead of HS and Hotspot. Jacko is known to put out a pretty good lap here. Kind of surprised to see him down in 8th right now. Maybe might pick up some time in Sector 3 here. Maybe move up the order. Garris Vac as well is known to have a good qualifying from time to time. But right now it's the man himself, Jinnit, to win it, sitting second with Mystic up on top. Jinnit to win his Div 1 teammate as well, Impossible Bacon, in 3rd spot. And those 3 haven't really moved around much. Either has Cake. Hotspot has jumped up into the top 5. El Jacko, or Jacko for short, currently sitting in 6th. A.E. Daltonian has lost some major time here in Sector 3, and he's going to come over the line in 10th in a couple of disqualifications. I will run you through those once I get the timing sheet. But several disqualifications actually, so we'll see where that ends up. Might have been a couple of the final turns that really put a wrench into a couple of these guys' plans here. But Mystic Joker gets pole on the super softs, just over a quarter of a second quicker than Jeanette to win it, who's going to be on the front row with him. Impossible Bacon 3rd, and Cake Thomas 4th on the 2nd row. Hotspot and Elma Jacko 6th. They have, I believe it's an Ayrton Senna and a Alain Prost argument that kind of comes from back from time to time. But JC Blackley and Tsui sit 7th and HSVDT as well as Super DNS round out the top 10. Into the bottom 10 here we saw the man that we were on board with, A.E. Daltonian and the Dams 11th, Ray 12th, Garris Vac 13th, Irresponsible Man 14th, Canuckles 15th, Will Ann 16th, Spaceman 17th, and the disqualifications are those guys that you're going to see in the back of the pack there. And it's a little bit too tardy getting to the rest of those, but I'll be sure to name off those when they come up. But anywho, any questions in chat, you feel free to ask. Love to try and stay active with the chat as much as possible. Sometimes I get distracted as there's a race going on, but I do what I can to answer this question, so feel free. As well as I give shoutouts to followers, so if you shoot us a follow, I'll give you a little bit of a shout out there. I love to do so. But anywho, Russia is a weird track, and I say weird because it seems to be one of the most unenjoyable races on the calendar. But when it comes to playing the game, people a majority will concede in saying that it is not that bad of a track. It's just watching the race, people just get bored with it. But playing it, it just seems to be a fun little track. It's got a couple of high-speed turns, a lot of sharp 90-degree angles there, which I'm a fan of. If you've tuned in from the stream before, I've made that quite apparent. But Sector 1 sees us with 4 turns, 3 going to the right, 1 to the left. Drop my controller there for a second. But Sector 2 sees us with 4, 5 to the right, 2 to the left. And then Sector 5 is too many to count for me, so I'll do it quickly. 1, 2, 3. Oh, it's 3 and 3. It's split. So 18 turns in total make up this track, as well as 2 DRS sections, 1 in Sector 1 and 1 in Sector 2, ending in Sector 3, coming into turn 13. Actually, it takes 2 turns to make up the second DRS section, that being turn 11 and 12. Long swooping right-hander, and then a little bit shorter of a swooping left-hander, that being turn 12. Then goes into a high-speed braking zone in turn 13, where cars can really find themselves mistiming and not getting the downforce needed to slow down coming into 13, so we'll have to keep our eyes out for that. But waiting for the lobby to get going here, and while we do, I'll give a shout out to my cubbies as they're up over the Pirates right now, sitting 4-1 going into the top of the 9th, so hopefully they can close that out. I'll have another second here. I'll bring up the NHL scores. From what I saw early on, a little notification was, yes, the New York Islanders did finish off the Pittsburgh Penguins 5-3, taking the series in 6 games. Florida is currently down 2, and the later stages of the second period there. It's the Pirates, bro. Yeah, I know, but still, come on. They need to win. They need to beat them. But yeah, Tampa Bay currently leading 2-0 over Florida with the power play late in the second period. Florida needs the win to push to Game 7. Was sitting 3-1 down in the series and trying to fight for their lives to bring it back. Early on in the Vegas and Minnesota game, we see it at 0-0, 7 minutes left in the second series. That game being Game 6, Vegas leading 3-2. But enough with that. Maybe I'll get into the Europa League final a little bit later here. But we are underway. Mystic Joker actually seems to get off fairly well. Impossible Bacon doesn't. Hotspot actually is going to try and ride him around the outside. Jinnit to win it, going the inside, shorter way around the track. And it looks like Jacko is trying to work himself into that top little group, getting blocked off right now of Jinnit, but he's going to think about shooting down the inside line. Jinnit blocks him out. Mystic sends it a little bit deep. JC actually makes up quite a bit of positions, and we have a car off at turn 1, or turn 2 there, that being Impossible Bacon, so he's way down the grid. Mystic still holding on, Jinnit right on the tail. JC Blackley overtaking HS VDT. HS falling down a couple of positions here. We'll get right on board with him, see what he's dealing with. He's got Cake Thomas ahead of him. Cake got the inside line on JC. A little bit of contact. Cake going up over the curb. JC getting pushed out wide. Sui and Super Nina is just in behind battling as well. It looks like Sui gets that position. Hotspot falling down the order quite a bit. Looks like we got a car spun out, that being Chunky Corgi, and a full-on VSC, I believe it just is right now. I'm not sure if that really warranted one, as Chunky was in the back of the pack, kind of safe out of the way. Oh, and Sui mistiming the braking zone and gets a little bit of contact, some collision. Hotspot as well, I think, might have mistimed it and got a little bit of collision for his own good. Yeah, 5-second penalty there. We'll take a quick peek and bring up the position changes. Money Matt up 10 spots off of the start. Just waiting for this VSC to end. We'll get on with Jacko on the lead pack there and see what he's going to be able to do. Continue to win it, stay close to Joker. There we go, back to green here, so we'll get right on board with Jacko, see what he can accomplish, trying to keep up with these two very quick drivers in Janet to win it. Mystic Joker, Jacko, of course, no slouch himself. 3.5 seconds already separates the front 3 to the rest of the pack. Mystic Joker setting there early, fastest lap. HS, is he in the pits, or did he? No, he might have gotten a little bit of contact, but he's back on track. Money Matt right in the slipstream of Ray. Sui's up ahead. Money Matt looks at the inside line going into turn 2. Ray has got the full car ahead and is able to match the braking prowess of Money Matt. A little bit of contact between JC Blackley and Cake Thomas is going to put Cake into a tiny bit of a tailspin there. Money and Ray are battling down the pack a little bit, but Super Ninas is the one with some crazy pace coming around the swooping left-hander of turn 3. And... oh my god. On my angle there, it looked like Sui and Super Ninas and JC Blackley were going wheel to wheel, and then JC kind of pushed them out wide, and there was no real room for JC Blackley gave Super Ninas, and some contact kind of forced Super Ninas into pitting JC, and I'm not sure what happened, but I think JC came back on track and then made some really solid contact with Sui, and Sui spun him into a quite the pop shove it. Interesting little event that kind of took place there. I wish I kind of caught the whole situation, but unfortunately I caught the last little bit. Nikki, if you're still in chat, what fan are you? What MLB team is yours? Excuse me. But some pits are going to happen here. It looks like about half the field's coming in. Just going to put on some fresh tires here, allow the back of the pack to catch up. Spaceman is currently the last man on the grid coming around turn 10 right now, so he's going to try and catch back up and maybe have a chance of moving up positions. He's had a couple of top 10s in his career, does Spaceman, so maybe he can get one here today. He's going to be in tough, got to overtake 10 guys to do so, but is the man up to the task? Only one will know, and that is Spaceman, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. Alright, if there's any time for that to happen, I guess it's now. But I'm back. Jin Twin It, he's the man. Always sends me an extra invite just in case situations like this were to arise, and today it did. But slowly but surely working our way up to a couple milestones here in the views as well as the followers, so help us get to there if you can. Very excited. Well, that doesn't sound right. Jacko's actually going to come to the pit, so I imagine we're going to see him throw on some mediums, or is it softs here? I haven't checked. So it's mediums. So Jacko's going to come into the pit, so is a couple of other drivers. Cake, Ray, HSVDT, A. Daltonian, all into the pit, getting thrown on some and can. Money Matt is going to be with that, is he's actually got on some fresh medium, so he will not need to pit for the rest of the race. Knuckles as well, coming down the pit straight on some fresh medium, so he's going to push all those drivers back as well and jump up into 6th. So a well-timed pit stop from him is going to see him have a look into the top 5. Slowly but surely making our way around the track, trying to catch up to the safety car. We'll see what the man at the back right now in Spaceman is up to as he's coming through sectors 3. He's got to try and catch that safety car. I believe they're going to go around once more. I'm not sure if they did 1 or 2 laps by the time that I was out, but I think we'll be fine. Should be good for the rest of this race here, hopefully. Hopefully. I'll do my best baseball radio play-by-play. Okay, Craig Kimball stepping into the game, currently sporting a .9 ERA, which is a lot better from what we've seen early on in his Cubs career. Starts with the knuckle curve on the inside, just misses, and then comes with the second pitch as a fastball right down the middle, and Ben Gamble puts a good piece into that one and launches it out to deep center field. Ian Happ with a jump to try and receive it, and unfortunately knocks it off the back left of his glove, dropping in behind him, and that's going to go for a double for an early bottom of the ninth rally setter for the Pittsburgh Pirates here. Craig just leaves a little bit over too much of the heart of the plate, and Ian Happ just can't make the play. You got to think with the center fielder of presumed of that quality of Happ, should have made that grab. He's definitely going to be upset with himself there. Man on second, none out, 2 pitches in to Kimball's attempted save. I guess it's turned into, I know it's a 3 out, so yeah, his save in the bottom of the ninth here at PNC Park in Pittsburgh, which is a lovely park, I might add. Very well done. It's got a great view of downtown Pittsburgh, right by the water. You can see the yellow bridge. I don't know what to say about it. That is a really cool bridge, I'll give it that. But Reynolds steps up into the plate here, 0 for 2 on the evening. Kimball starts with a high and in fastball, then comes across with a knuckle curve over the inside middle part of the plate. 1-1. What can the Pirates man do here? An early double puts the Pirates in a much better spot to bring it all the way back here in the ninth. But Kimball, like I said, sporting a .9 ERA. 1-1 count is a knuckle curve in the dirt. A swing and a miss. 1-2 count. Reynolds obviously not picking up well on the knuckle curve, as that's his second over this at-bat. Both going for strikes. One, of course, looking to make it a 1-1 count in the second, making it a 1-2. Pirate man sporting the number 10. Let's see what he can come up with here. 1-2 count. Kimball, another knuckle curve into the dirt. Reynolds lays off 2-2. Now, as I mentioned early, Kimball struggling in the lovable loser's uniform here. Let's see if he can turn it around. Has done so early on in this season, but can he continue that fortune? Oh, and what just... Ray was trying to warm up his tires, lost control, and then spun out as we go back green. Safety car is in. The Garris Vac jumps up all the way into second. The pit stops have found Jacko sitting 5th right now with the pit. He's going to go down the inside line onto Knuckles. Hey, Yuki. Yeah, man got a little bit too heavy on the throttle, and Uncle Ben's Rice is going a little bit too deep around turn 3, and that brings Uncle Ben down the inside line and gets 5th place. Helmet Jack on a very good spot to try and take it home here. Money Matt as well. He's got to get past him. Jacko seemed to be getting a little bit of a lag here, but we're just going to ride this one out here. Uncle Ben's Rice on some fairly new super softs as well. He pitted early, and he's got to try and make some moves real quick here. But Jacko's looking at the outside line on Money Matt. Money goes to defend, pushes Jacko out wide, takes a sharper line, but Jacko's able to hold the better traction coming around the turn and gets a much better jump out. Mystic Joker overtaking Mahi down at the back of the pack there for 13th. Mystic's got a long way to go to try and gain as many points as he can. Money takes a look back at the inside of turn 13, but Jacko's able to hold off, and now Uncle Ben's Rice putting some pressure on Money Matt. Money just able to put his car in the right positions right now. Jacko's trying to pull away from these two. Jinnit Twinen has already grown a 3-second gap from himself to the Garris Vac in second, but Jinnit still has to pit. Uncle Ben taking a little bit of a deeper line here. Will Ans is getting real close onto Knuckles. Knuckles gets a really good run out of turn 18. I guess you're a fan of JC Blackley there, Yuki. But into the slipstream does Will Ans go, and he's making up some ground on Knuckles, but it looks like Knuckles is a little bit too far away going into turn 2. Uncle Ben as well, right onto the tail of Money Matt. Money Matt going a little wide around turn 3, and Uncle Ben on those super softs is able to take the sharper line and get right alongside him. Looking at the outside line here, Money Matt and him do tap a little bit. Money Matt gets a little bit of oversteer coming around the turn, and now Money goes down the inside line into turn 5 and gets a position back. Now he's taking an extremely tight line around 6 and has the car fully ahead through 7. As well as Will Ans is battling with Knuckles, but Knuckles is doing a good job of holding him off. Uncle Ben's, here we go, going down the inside line, which turns into the outside, coming into 10 here, sends it deep, and is able to make the move stick. Goes into 5th place. Now he's got to try and work on growing that gap. Elma Jacko trying to work on the Garrus Vac. Vac can feel the pressure, defends the inside line, is going to cut the curb ever so slightly. Jacko's giving him the room. Vac is still battling it out, but Jacko has the inside line coming around turn 15. And with that, he's able to take the shorter way around the track. Vac's going to try and fight this out, but still gets a position. It looks like Ray or Chunky Corgi went off. Irresponsible man, sorry, actually. Seems to be the one that crashed out. Cake Thomas is right on the tail of Mystic Jokers. Mystic tries to still weave his way through the crowd here. Just got to get that. DRS is open now. Will Ans into the slipstream of Knuckles. The DRS is helping him, but Knuckles as well has DRS and trying to get in the slipstream of Money Matt. But Will Ans is able to pull alongside Knuckles. Goes down the inside line into turn 2. Knuckles forced out wide and onto the curb and is able to get the position back, but it looks like Super Ninas, or sorry, is that that's A.E. Daltonian, goes around the inside line of turn 3. Knuckles has the position. 4 cars battling, that going Will Ans and Super Ninas. Mystic Joker as well right in this pack. 4 cars separated by a quarter of a second, and he can even go 6 cars separated by a quarter of a second. Super Ninas going around the outside line of Will Ans, as Will Ans was initially fighting for 6. Now he's trying to get back into 8th as Ninas and A.E. Daltonian get the overtake, and maybe Will Ans just doesn't quite have the pace here. He's under pressure. Super goes a little bit deep. Will Ans opens the door for Mystic Joker. Mystic is able to get alongside him, and he's going to have to send it around the outside line, and he's able to do so. Will Ans now loses another position back into 10th. Impossible Bacon as well, right onto the tail of Will Ans. Both with DRS and in slipstreams. Mystic Joker is the one that's missing out here. The Garrus Vac and Uncle Ben's Rice for 3rd place are battling, but the Garrus Vac still needs a pit, so we should see him go down the order quite a bit. Mystic has worked himself back up into 9th. Cake and Mahi are battling, but Cake loses out to 2 positions to Mahi and HSVDT. As this pack is still staying so very close after the safety car. All of these cars have pitted as well, so they're on fresh tires. Some have 1 lap less, but it is a safety car. I'm his manager, which is another word for girlfriend, I guess. Oh, I gotcha. Okay, so you're the manager. Good to hear. Yes, there's a couple of managers that stop in and out of this stream here. A. Daltonian and Super Ninas are duking it out here. Mystic Joker just stuck in behind these two as he wants to get these overtaken as soon as possible. Ninas and a little bit of contact between him and A. Daltonian. There we go. We'll get on with Will Ans. He'll get a good battle of these 3-way tussle here between these drivers as Mystic is still trying to work his way around. Looked at an undercut there. There's not an undercut, but a switchback of those drivers, but Ninas unfortunately losing a little bit of traction. Now Will Ans trying to come back at Mystic as Will is trying to get those positions back that he lost. A. Daltonian is falling way back for Knuckles as Knuckles has done a good job of fending off his predators and has held his position, but now the Garrus Vac and Uncle Ben's Rice are still battling it out. Vac on 8-lap-old Super Softs, Uncle Ben's Rice on the far fresher Super Softs. But these two battling is going to bring Money Matt right back at these two. yellow flag in Sector 2. That's around turn 10. It looks like Kate Thomas got into it with someone there as he spins out. I believe Ray as well spun out around turn 7. Vac gets a position on Uncle Ben, but Uncle Ben goes for a switchback and now sends it around the outside line of turn 14. Vac is the inside. Uncle Ben going to the outside on turn 15, breaks deeper, sets himself up for a good line into 16 and takes a position, and a switchback by Money Matt, with Vac being forced into an unfortunate situation, as now Money Matt is still in 5th, Vac in 4th, still needing to pit. 3-second penalty, gets tossed out. All these drivers are fighting for position. It's actually Mystic Joker losing a couple spots there, as he's down into 11th. Gets a really good run out of the final turn, should overtake Mahi Mahi, but they're going to drag it down the strip. Money Matt still trying to fight into the top 4. And he's going to outbrake Vac going into turn 2. Vac just barely closing off his line there, forces Money to go over the curb, which ends up getting a 3-second time penalty. Knuckles still in 6th, trying to work his way back up the pack. Still Jinnit and Garrus Vac need to pit here, so they got to do that fairly soon. Maybe potentially waiting on a safety car. The Cubs close it out for the 4-1 win in Pittsburgh. So well done to those lads, as I'll give that a close. Money Matt is just being slowed up by the Garrus Vac here, as ever since Uncle Ben is able to overtake Vac, he's been able to keep opening the lead. And Jacob got into a little bit of a tussle with Super Ninas and unfortunately got spun out, and then he came back on track and got T-boned from what I collected. Knuckles getting a really good run out of turn 10. He's going to look at the inside line on Vac. He's got the speed advantage. He's going to get the position, and now Money Matt's going to send it around the outside. A little bit of contact. Oh no, Knuckles spins out Mystic Joker, gets the position. Fastest sector for Mystic Joker, as podium is still very much up for grabs for him, having to weave his way through the field through a lot of this chaos here. Currently sitting 7th, 2 drivers ahead that need to pit, and one on some very old super softs, but 3 seconds up the road, 4 seconds up the road. Vac finally into the pit for his stop. Jinnit still holding out. Does Ninas get DRS? I don't think so. No, Mystic Joker does. So Mystic Joker's going to try and catch that slipstream with Super Ninas. Looks like he's got it. He's gaining some major speed now, nearly at 200 miles per hour. To the inside line goes Mystic Joker, outbraking Ninas and getting the move done. Now you can see Money Matt just ahead of him, as 4th place is very much reachable. Ninas trying to come back at Mystic, and Mystic has got the position held. Mahi's trying to work on Impossible Bacon as well as Impossible's trying to work on Will Lance. Will Lance finds himself back up into 7th with a couple of the spin-outs and pits. So with one more pit to come with Jinnit to win it, he should jump back up into 6th, the position where he initially had after the restart. But quickly back up to Mystic Joker, as this is a potential battle for a podium position here. Mystic Joker's right on Money Matt, and Money Matt can feel the heat as Mystic gets a really good run out of turn 10. He's going to get DRS into the slipstream, and he's got alongside of him, he's got some major pace coming around turn 11 in through turn 12. He's got the position lined up, and yes, goes actually very deep, as well as who is that? I think that was Impossible Bacon going extremely deep, or sorry, no, Super Ninas, as Mystic Joker opens Money Matt back up for a nice little fight. Mystic giving him the room, going very deep through turn 16, but is able to get the move done into 4th place. Jinnit to win it into the pit, so he's going to drop right down the order as Jinnit. Jacko goes into the lead. Mystic is where's Mystic? 4.5 seconds back of Uncle Ben's Rice for second. 5 seconds back of Uncle Ben's Rice for second here. Uncle Ben's got some really old super softs, so Mystic definitely has the advantage here. Money's lining up the inside line into turn 2, but he's a little bit too far away. He's got a really... Oh, Mystic! What happened, Mystic? Mystic got some oversteer there coming around turn 3, or turn 2 actually, and now Money Matt's able to jump back ahead of him, and that just might be enough for Uncle Ben to be able to safely hold on to second. But now once again Money Matt is having to fight for third place. He does have a penalty, so Mystic's just going to get the job done after the whole thing is finished, with Money Matt getting his time penalty served. Mystic lining up a switchback. HSVDT and Mahi Mahi battling it out as well. I'd like to jump over to that, but it looks like we're going to have a pass for third place here as Mystic Joker forces Money Matt into going over the curb, and by doing so forces him into a bad line as the Yuki Tsunoda car of Money Matt gets DRS, and he's going to just be at the reach of Mystic Joker, but it looks like Mystic just might be able to hold him off, and yeah, he will, into the late break of turn 13, where we did see Mystic Joker go a little bit deep earlier, but now he's seemed to have corrected his mistakes, as quite a bit of penalties have been handed out this Grand Prix, so Knuckles may have a chance to move back up the grid after this one finishes, depending on the penalties ahead. Mahi Mahi getting real close to HSVDT, but it's actually impossible. Bacon might be able to work on Super Ninas. The Super just missed. Looks like he's just going to miss DRS, so that's going to go to Impossible Bacon. Impossible sitting 3/10 out of Ninas. He's got DRS, who's got the speed advantage, as well as the slipstream of Ninas, getting a tow down the pit straight around turn 1, braking late into turn 2. Ninas is trying to fight out, and Ninas slots just in behind Impossible, going up into 5th, potentially moving up into 4th. But it's actually Will Ants along the inside line of turn 3, as Ninas is forced to go wide. But Ninas is able to get the position done, holding good pace around turn 3. Will goes very deep, nearly gets the wall, and that brings Hotspot right behind him, as this battle for this midfield here is still very much up for grabs. Mystic able to pull away from Money Matt out of DRS, which is very important for Impossible Bacon here, as Impossible's got 1.5 seconds to clear on Money Matt. Might be able to do it, but with the penalties to Money Matt, will sit Impossible in a very good position. You just see Money Matt in the distance there. He's kind of closing that gap as Impossible Bacon, so it might actually have a chance to get it done on track. But he's just got to be careful about Super Ninas in behind, as Super has been a very quick driver this last little while here. But 164 followers is where we sit right now. If you like what you see, be sure to follow the stream. We very much appreciate it. Our next goal is 175. We did just reach 2,000 viewers, so very much appreciative to everyone that has helped us get to that goal. Let's go. 2,500 is our next goal. Hopefully we can get that by the end of this season. We're going to work our way ever so slightly to that, and inch by inch we'll get there. But right now we're on with Super Ninas, as he's working on Impossible Bacon. He's got DRS. This is the last thing Impossible wants, is having a fight with Super Ninas while trying to catch Money Matt. But Super's going to get the move done clean. But I guess if Super's able to just close the gap to Money Matt as well, then that will help him out. But Impossible's got to try and close this gap. Actually, he should be sitting safe right now, so he doesn't really need to get the move done on track. 2 seconds separates Uncle Ben's Rice and Mystic Joker, so Uncle Ben is set to come over the line in second place. Sorry. I kind of stopped my sentence for a second there. But still, this battle in the midfield is very much up for grabs. A lot of penalties to be handed out, so we'll have to see how that affects the race positions when this all finishes. But still, Super Ninas does get into DRS of Money Matt, into the last DRS zone. We'll see if he's got enough to get the overtake on Money Matt, as Ninas is trying to get as many points. Oh, 11 seconds worth of penalties ain't going to get her done. Money Matt actually was 6 seconds. 9 seconds to Hotspot, so still quite a bit of position moving up for grabs here. We'll see how this is going to finish. In it to win it goes all the way back into 14th with having to pit so very late on the super softs. We're putting in a really good time. But the feature race of this 2-race evening is going to go to El Majacco, as he times his pit very well and was able to hold on to the rest of the race. HSVDT looks like he spins out early on in Sector 3. Former teammate El Majacco, as Jacko comes over second. Mystic just misses out on second, actually. That was actually very close. Oh my god. Must have been a penalty to Uncle Ben's in the end there. But as these cars come over the line, we're going to see position changes. Money Matt will finish in 5th. Mahi in 6th. Willans in 7th. Sui 8th. Super in 9th. Cake is going to get back in the top 10. Hotspot is going to start the back 10 here with HSVDT going 12th. Chunky Corgi 13th. Jinnit to win at 14th after leading like 90% of the race, as it seemed. Knuckles is going to finish 15th after that spin out. I think it was around lap 10. A. Daltonian had a good run for a little bit there, but 17th is where he's going to finish up, as well as Spaceman. From what we were able to gather earlier, it wasn't the night for him. He's going to finish up the final couple of turns here, 17 and 18, but a very noble drive from Spaceman, doing what he can, but unfortunately wasn't enough here in Sochi. Hopefully looking for a better result in the sprint race. But once again, I'll go through the finishing order and then we can get on to the sprint. As there's always a little bit of chatter in the Midwest Discord here. But if you want to be a part of Midwest, just put !! Discord and you'll get a link and join up. But the podium celebrate Uncle Ben's Rice coming over second, Jacko with his win in the Uni Virtuosi, and Mr. Joker rounding out the podium in third. And on to the ladder of the drivers. Ladder? Does that work there? I don't know. Ooh, but Grumpy Old Catman F1 shooting us a follow. Appreciate that. That puts us at 165, 10 away from our goal. But thank you, Grumpy Old Catman, for the follow. Anywho, on to the back of the pack. We got Impossible Bacon finishing 4th, Money Matt 5th, Mahi Mahi 6th, Willan 7th, Sui 8th, Super Ninas 9th, and Cake Thomas rounding out the top 10. The second of the Trident finishing right alongside his teammate. But down the rest of the grid we go. We see Hotspot, Chunky Corgi, Jinnit win it, a couple of Canucks, that being Knuckles, as well as the Garrus Fack finishing 15th, 16th, and the rest are some Americans going A. Daltonian Spaceman, Ray, Irresponsible Man, and JC Blackley. That is such a tough one. Impossible Bacon, Irresponsible Man, that is so close. Well, hopefully I don't mess that one up as much as I think that I'm going to, but I believe in my broadcasting qualities. With how close those names are, it's going to be tough, but I think I'll be able to get the task done. But like I said, sprint race still to come, so be sure to stay on board and watch what is to come here in Sochi. Race 2. Can Jacko do the double? Can Mystic get the win and increase his driver's championship point gap, which is next to, see here. Oh, okay, I see. Alright, yeah. So Mystic Joker leads the way with 222 points, and Elma Jacko sits right behind with 212. So these two former Div 1 duo are going to battle this one out, and excuse me, that was kind of gross. Super Ninas sitting third as well. Very quick man. He is Impossible Bacon 4th, and the Garrus Fack 5th. Going on to the constructors here, we'll take a quick peek at that. We see High Tech leading the way, Uni Virtuosi 2nd, and BWT HWA Race Lab in 3rd. Oh, I guess we'll go Trident, and then Carlin in 4th and 5th. And the rest need to get some work done to get some callouts. But we do see a couple of those drivers at the back of the pack do have some races, and hopefully we will see that here. As you know what, I do like seeing Mystic Joker and Elma Jacko on the podium, but it's I won't say it's time for a change, but you know, let's come on, guys. We've seen enough of you up there. Let's see some other guys. You know what? I think that they'd actually agree as well. They'd love to see a couple of the other guys battle it up with them, but these guys are just so bloody fast. They really, those two drivers really do enjoy a good battle. So hopefully a couple of these guys will get it for them here. But it's going to be Mystic Joker who's going to be starting 6th. What a fast field. Yeah, no shit, Spaceman. You're in tough, my guy. Good luck. But yeah, Mystic Joker's going to be starting 6th in the grid, 2 spots ahead of El Majaco, so we'll have to see how that winds up here. I'm not sure. One of the Dams drivers is sitting first, that being Sui, and Willan second, Mahi third, Money Matt fourth. They'll get a pretty good start. Money Matt's already looking at the inside line, gets Mahi early, as Mahi's actually trying to fight back. He's got some good pace in the slipstream of the drivers ahead. Down the inside line goes Will Ans. Money Matt wants to send a little bit of contact. All these drivers seem to get out fairly cleanly. Some of them have to go and avoid some position changes early on. El Majaco already overtaking Mystic Joker, as Mystic is already down into 7th place. Known for his low quality starts from time to time, and this may be one of them. A little bit of lagging going on ahead, but nothing seems to be coming from an Impossible Bacon moving down to 8th, as well as Uncle Ben's Rice jumping up into 7th. A little bit of oversteer from Impossible Bacon's going to see him go down the order a spot, just a hot spot as it stands right now. A car spun out, or a little bit of contact there in the early stages of Sector 2, that being turn 5. But Mystic Joker, there you go, sends it deep around the outside line of turn 8 into 9. Has the position, Sui getting overtaken by Uncle Ben's Rice. The sprint race does not need a pit stop here, so we're going to see these drivers try and lap the whole race on these mediums. But here we go, Jacko trying to use up these tires as soon as possible, as he's going to be battling and setting around the outside, putting a lot of pressure on these right wheels here. Doesn't get the move done. Mahi defends well. Get right on top of the halo here. Money Matt currently sitting second, Mahi in third. And a little bit of contact there as someone missed their braking zone. And it looked like they punted Mystic Joker into Jacko. As we see some wings flying around there. Mystic back in 7th. Looks like he's got his wings intact. Having to give up a couple of positions, Uncle Ben's Rice is forced into the pit, and we have a full-on safety car here. That's not what you want to see. Yeah, grumpy old cat, man. This is a very tough field here. Just goes to show you some of the quality of these drivers have kind of stepped up into. We'll take a quick peek at the position changes from the start. It's actually Hotspot gaining 6 positions, JC Blackley as well, jumping up 9. So he's up into 12. Garrus Vac taking 5, Spaceman and Ray as well taking 5. Quite a bit of early pit stops are forced out by some of these drivers. Right now, Hotspot's sitting in a very good position. Unfortunately, with that punt that Mystic Joker received, kind of punting as well, Jacko has forced Jacko into a really tough spot here, sitting back in 15th with the clean wing and clean tires. So we'll have to see what he can do. Potentially looking at a top 10. I think he can work his way back up into 8th, but from that point on, it's going to be really tough. Will Ann's leading the way as it stands, gaining a position. Mahi holding his in 3rd. Money Matt getting a couple spots up into 2nd. But right now, Sui is the man who's lost 3 in the top 5, starting 1st and unfortunately dropping down into 4th. Impossible Bacon as well, losing some positions off the start, going down 4 spots from 5th to 9th. So we'll have to see what the Brit can do. Oh man, Jin Twinett is a Manchester United fan. I said to get into that a little bit later here, and I guess I will. If anyone has watched the Europa League final, a crazy penalties was on display there. 10 straight goals from each side, so 20 in total before, 21 straight goals off of penalties, including the goalie of Villarreal, and then the heartbreak of David De Gea as he stepped up, and his counterpart on the other side, the Villarreal goalie, I'm not sure his name, made the save to win Villarreal their first ever European trophy, that being the Europa League. So rough go from David De Gea, but it is what it is. Hey, 12th isn't bad after the start. You got it, Jacob, says Yuki. A little bit of support there to the man in red. We'll actually jump on board, see if we can see if he's thinking about anything. Definitely visualizing and focusing as much as the man can be repping the Schumacher car, actually, so some good fortune there. The Formula 2 champion of 2020. So that's quite the shoes to fill in that car. These drivers should be able to catch up to the pack before Sector 3, and then we'll get back at it here. Looks like Cake Thomas and Uncle Ben's Rice are finishing up in the pit. We've got a little bit of ways to go before they can catch this pack. A couple turns ahead is the pack, so hopefully we can get back to racing, and then hopefully not turn that back into bumper cars. But early safety car kind of brings everything to a halt. Oh, Yuki shot a follow. Thank you, lady. Appreciate it. That puts us at 166.9 away from our goal. Do what you can to try and get us there. You know, anyone that likes Formula 1, be sure to get them to give us a view. We very much appreciate it, and I'll do what I can to try and keep them. I find myself to be a decently charismatic guy and a subpar commentator, so hopefully I will do enough to make people stick around. But we are well on our way to hitting 200 followers, and that will be quite the milestone here, as we started only still not even a full year. So July 30th was our first stream. All that time ago. Our Twitch and whatnot page was started, I believe, in September. So still not a full year of the Twitch page being alive, and we're nearly at 200 followers. Not too shabby. We'd like to get more, of course, but we're working and we're doing what we can. But we're about to get back into it here. We'll get on board with Mystic Joker and see what he can do. Might be able to get a good start, trying to warm up the tires as much as he can in the high-tech Nikita Mazepin car as well. So a little bit of a bad mojo. One Willan's trying to mistime the pack, but doesn't get a good jump on Money Matt at all. Money is able to time that fairly well, but Will gets a better jump out of turn 18, but the slipstream of Will for Money Matt is going to help him out tremendously here as he's gaining some major pace here. Got to get up the telemetry and lapped out of here. We're seeing speeds around 190 miles per hour. To go down the order, as Mystic Joker's right on the tail of Hotspot, as Mystic can see first place just into the distance, and he opts for a really tight line around turn 3. We've kind of seen the wide line being not the better of the line, but enough to get it done, and it is here. Hotspot has the pace all the way around, forces Mystic Joker off track. Mystic comes back on, still in 6th place. Doesn't want first place to get too far away here. He's going to want to try and dispatch Hotspot as soon as he can here. Gets a pretty decent run out of turn 5, but Hotspot's doing a good job of holding him off, not giving him any sort of room to get a maneuver done. Over the curb does Mystic Joker go. Chunky Corgi and Ray, the two MP teammates, battling it out down the pack. Mystic now is going to try and line up something into turn 10, but nothing quite there. Once again, we're taking a little bit of a shorter line over the curb, but Hotspot actually gets a better run out of the turn. It's got some really good pace coming down the straight. Sui and there we go. Sui and Mahi Mahi are battling it out. Money Matt as well can feel the pressure of Mahi, as Mahi is a very aggressive driver as well as very calculated, so we'll have to see how that battle pans out here. But Janet Twinnett gets his Div 1 teammate in Impossible Bacon and finds himself up into top 9. The podium is still very much up for grabs him as well. Yellow flag, sorry, around turn 13 and 14, but that seems to be all cleared up. As we continue onward, Mahi is still trying to get Money Matt there. Mystic Joker just still stuck in behind Hotspot. He's actually got a penalty here as this train continues onward. Money is right behind Will Ans here. Jumps back into the slipstream, trying to get as much pace as he can, as these guys are going to drag it out down to turn 2. Will Ans has got the full car head, and Money can't outbrake him going into turn 2. Janet picks another place on Super Ninas up into the top 8 as he tries to keep going. The Super Ninas might have spun out. Knuckles retires into the pit. Super's actually dropped back into 11th here. Will Ans is doing a good job of holding off Money Matt. Mystic looks like he's finally able to dispatch Hotspot. Hotspot pushes him right wide off the track as these guys are going to try and come down into turn 5. Mystic doing what he can, but Hotspot's able to hold the position on Mystic. Still in 6th place is Mystic as well with the time penalty, making it really tough here to get past Hotspot. right onto the tail. You can tell Hotspot is slowing up Mystic. Mystic once again takes a shorter line over the curb, and he's just alongside Hotspot, but Hotspot once again takes the inside line and forces Mystic right out wide, pushes him right to the curb, and once again Mystic can't get the move done. Sui, Mahi, and Money Matt still ever so close. This is helping Will Lance able to hold on to the lead. Looks like we got a car spun out, a little bit of contact, a lot of contact must have been made with Ray, an irresponsible man there, as looks like Ray has come out on the worst of that end. Once again, Mystic is just all over the back of Hotspot, but Hotspot just keeps doing enough to hold Mystic at bay. It's all about a good run out of turn 18 for Mystic here. Takes a cleaner line, Hotspot forced into a little bit of shallower apex, but now Mystic comes around turn 18, is so close on Hotspot, within 0.2 of a second. Both get DRS. Mystic is in the slipstream, but so is Hotspot, so he just can't do much there. Tries to pull out of it actually, and just can't line something up into turn 2. Breaks deeper into turn 2 than does Hotspot. Mystic, once again, he's going to line up the inside line. Hotspot's going to grind him out, and just the tiniest bit of contact there between the drivers of Mystic just has his car ahead, and he's going to try and send it deep. Hotspot has to give him the room this time. Mystic's got his car ahead. Hotspot still holding on the inside line. He's going to once again force Mystic out wide. Hotspot just alongside Mystic once again goes a little bit too deep through the turn, and Mystic still holding on to 6th place. Just can't get past that man of Hotspot. Well, there we go, a little bit of a mistake from Hotspot there. It's going to bring Mystic along the inside line now. You've seen Hotspot go here the last couple times, but now Mystic's got the full car ahead, and now he's into 5th place ahead of Hotspot. Hotspot trying to get into the slipstream. He's got a slight pace advantage down this straight here. Going to come around the short little left-hander of turn 12. He's back alongside Mystic, but now Mystic is the one who's got the car ahead, and once again Hotspot sends it back down the inside. He's back alongside Mystic Joker. Mystic is forced around deep, and Hotspot once again gets the position. And some elbows out racing there from Hotspot. But there you go, another little mistake is going to bring Mystic Joker right back alongside him down the inside line of turn 17. Hotspot still sending around the outside of turn 18. Mystic breaks a little bit deeper and gives himself a better line coming out of the turn. But now Hotspot's going to get DRS, as these guys are still battling it out. Hotspot lining up the inside line into turn 2. Mystic still holding on to 6. Forces Hotspot a little bit deep. And once again, Mystic's going to go for the tighter way around. Flag around sector 1. It looks like JC Blackley is spun out, and he's down the grid into 14th place, but I got to jump up back onto that battle, as these guys have been going on for laps here. And going over the curb is Hotspot, and that's going to bring Mystic right alongside him. Coming into the turn, Hotspot sends it deep just off the curb, as Mystic kind of returns the favor into Hotspot, and now he's got the full car ahead. But he's just outside a second to Sui, so he needs to try and get DRS on Sui, or else Hotspot should be able to get the position right back coming into turn 12, or turn 13. And yeah, Mystic has already closed the gap. Money Matt is getting very close to Willans for a lead change there. JC Blackley picks himself back up in 14th. Not what he was hoping for. Yellow flag in sector 2. Looks like Kate Thomas is spun out there, just coming around turn 9. Mystic has been able to just slowly pull away from Hotspot there. Money Matt is just so close to Willans. Willans can feel the pressure, as Money Matt is just all over him. But now Mystic is trying to work on Sui, as Sui is just outside of a second of DRS. So Mystic is going to want to try and line something up going into turn 2 there. We'll get back onto the battle for the lead here. Mahi going a little bit deeper on turn 18, and that's going to not give him a chance on Willans. But Money Matt has got a good shot at Willans here. He's into the slipstream, he's got DRS, he's got the pace advantage, nearly getting up to 200 miles per hour. Down the inside line of the pit straight here into turn 2. Willans breaks deep, sends it around the outside, goes a little bit off, gets his car up over the curb. Mystic gets the pass on Sui. Sui is just very close to him. Actually, he's riding the inside line coming around turn 3. back into the battle for the lead. We got Money Matt, gets a little squirrely and a little contact between him and Will Ans. Will Ans is able to fight through it, still holding on, dragging down to turn 5. Money Matt with the inside line, Ray with the outside, and a little bit of contact. That forces both of them to go off track. Mahi can see daylight and gets first place. Will Ans and Money Matt are still batting a little bit more contact as you see Will Ans drifting around the turn. Mystic is able to jump through that gap and take third place as contact in back-to-back turns between Will Ans and Money Matt forces Will Ans back into 4th place. No penalty to him, so he's still sitting pretty good to be able to jump Mystic Joker. But now Mystic is going to do as much as he can to try and make the positions. Hotspot looks like he must have had a little bit of contact as he loses some positions. Jacko working himself back up into 8th, which is kind of what I predicted, as well as trying to get Super Ninas. Super opens up the inside line. Jacko's able to break deep enough and get alongside of him for a moment, but Super Ninas is able to put his car in the right position and hold off Jacko for now. But now Jacko breaks deep around turn 15, and then a little bit of contact between him and Ninas coming around 16, and Jacko gets his car ahead. Money Matt's done just enough to get DRS here, but he's going to be under pressure here from Mystic Jokers. Mystic and him are battling for quite a bit of laps last race in the feature. Mystic is a really good slipstream run on Money Matt. Money goes to defend the inside line. Mystic sends it deep. He's got the car fully ahead, brakes and sends it all the way around, goes off track a little bit of contact as well. And that's going to bring Will Ans back into it. Mystic takes a really shallow line around the turn. Money Matt taking a deeper line. Will Ans taking the middle. But Will Ans doesn't see the daylight that he needs. Money and Mystic are going to battle it wheel to wheel around turn 4. But Money gets a little bit too much on the inside line. Doesn't get a good run or an apex coming around. Will Ans now takes 3rd place back. Mystic now just trying to break away from these two drivers here as Sui is not too far away from these to Money Matt and Will Ans as well. And no, Jinnit to win it has lost it and binned it into the wall. Looks like that's coming around turn 5, so Jinnit to win it tonight is over. Not what he was hoping for. An unlucky first race and a terrible ending to his second in the sprint. Mystic has opened up just enough of a gap to himself and Money Matt, so Money doesn't get DRS. So now that's going to bring Will Ans into the slipstream as well as DRS. He's got the straight line speed on Money Matt and got the inside line as well, and he gets a position 3rd place. Sui as well trying to work himself back up in the battle for the podium here. Just outside these two drivers, Will Ans sitting 3rd, Money Matt 4th. Penalty to Money Matt is not going to help him as well as he goes very deep coming around turn 14. And Will Ans still sitting in 3rd place. Mystic is getting very close to Mahi. Mahi is going to be really hard to try and overtake Mahi and then open up a 3-second gap to take the win. Mystic sitting 3rd in the first race, now trying to battle for 1st. Right now he's in 2nd, but penalty to him will drop him to 3rd. Can try and work an opening between himself and Will Ans, but only with 2 full laps to go. It's going to be really hard. Mahi goes to defend the inside line. Mystic lines up the outside line. Mystic gives way to the position, tries to take a cleaner line through the turn, right into the slipstream of Mahi, and once again takes a tighter line around turn 3. Mahi going a little bit deep. That lines him up better for turn 4. And there you go. There's this little speed advantage coming into turn 4. Mahi taking a shorter, tighter apex opens Mystic up for a little bit of a switchback, but Mahi does a really good run of getting a good launch out of turn 4 and into turn 5. Still holds on to the position. Spaceman picking up a penalty in the back of the pack, 15th place. She is just outside of the reach for top 10. Mahi putting the car just where it needs to be, holding on, but he goes a little bit too deep coming around 9, and that opens up Mystic Joker. But Mystic is just in behind. He's going to get DRS coming down the straight. Already gets the overtake coming around the turn as he goes up into 1st place as it will stand, but needs to grow a gap between himself and Mahi as well as Will Ans to try and hold at least 2nd. But right now he's going to drop down into 3rd. If the race were to finish right now, Sui and Money Matt are still battling it out. Money's got 6 seconds worth of penalties, so Sui only with 3, so he should be able to jump, and Money Matt's in jeopardy of losing a couple positions as well. Mahi's doing a good job of just staying close to Mystic. Mystic's got to pull some major time here. He's got to pull a whole second on Will Ans in this final lap here. He's got some clean air ahead of him. As long as he doesn't get into a battle with Mahi's got a shot, but he's really got to pull out a good lap here. But like I said, clean air will do a lot for a driver here. Look at Perez this past Sunday in Monaco. Elma Jacko trying to make his way up the field, should be able to jump up ahead of Sui and Money Matt if this were to finish. I think he's just a little bit too far out on Mystic Joker here. Actually, Mystic's is with 8 penalties. 8 seconds worth of penalties. Oh no! So Jacko's actually in position to get a podium here. I thought Mystic only had 3 seconds. That changes everything. Mystic needs to pull some crazy time here, but I think it's virtually impossible. Honestly, Mahi's putting in a good lap. He's only 500ths down as an initial fastest lap, so he's putting in some really good times here. Sui as well, trying to catch and overtake Money Matt. We got to watch out for Jacko. He knows exactly where to pick his spots, and now Money Matt and Sui are going to battle it out here, and they got to be careful. But Sui blocks off Jacko, as well as Money Matt down the inside line. Sui breaking a little bit deeper. And now the switchback is opened up for Jacko as he gets a really good run out of turn 10. And now with DRS, he should be able to overtake both these drivers coming down the straight. Sui with DRS. No, actually neither of Sui or Money Matt got DRS. Now Jacko's going to send it down the inside line of Money Matt. A little bit of contact, nothing crazy there. Mystic Joker's already pulled 2 seconds on Mahi. But Jacko's trying to get this job done the old-fashioned way. Sui sees a little bit of an opening there that Money Matt gave him, but the battling has forced Sui a little bit out wide. Money Matt is able to take the position on Jacko. Coming around the final turn is Mystic Joker. We'll have to see where he ends up. But the battling in the back of the pack here is going to get so close, but I think Mystic is going to just drop outside of the podium, finishing fourth, Jacko in third. Sui sitting 6th, hot spot with a quiet 5th after the battle with him and Mystic Joker to start this race. Super Ninas 9th, Impossible 8th, Uncle Ben 7th. Money Matt rounding out the top 10, unfortunately, with all those penalties coming through. Kind of hurt him quite a bit. Spaceman coming around the final turn, he's going to finish 15 for some decent points. Cake Thomas coming through sector 3 here in 16th place. It seems like that's all he's going to be able to come home with, as well as HSVDT just starting sector 2. So he's got quite a ways to go before we can bring it home. And that is about all she wrote here this evening. Well done to the podium finishers. Mahi collecting a win. Jacko doing a double podium, as well as Will Ans. A couple of Brits up in the top 2 by an Aussie in 3rd. Mystic Joker finishing 4th, Hotspot in 5th. Sui 6th, Uncle Ben's Rice in 7th, Impossible Bacon 8th, Super Dinas 9th, and rounding out the top 10 is Money Matt. Going into the back of the pack, we see the Garris Vac, JC Blackley, Chunky Corgi, A. Daltonian, Spaceman, Cake Thomas, HSVDT, Jinna to Win It, Irresponsible Man, Ray, E46, and Knuckles 21 being the last of the racers. Go quickly through the feature race. As it finished was Jacko with the win, Uncle Ben 2nd, Mr. Joker 3rd, Impossible Bacon 4th, Money Matt 5th, Mahi 6th, Willan 7th, Sui 8th, Super Ninas 9th, Cake Thomas 10th. In the back of the pack we see Hotspot, HSVDT, Chunky Corgi, Jin to Win It, Knuckles, the Garris Vac, A. Daltonian, Spaceman, Ray, Irresponsible Man, and JC Blackley DNFing that race. No points for them in the feature, but thank you for everyone that did tune in tonight. Very much appreciated, as well as the chatter in the chat. Love to see it. Love to try and get the chat involved. But thanks for helping us hit a milestone of over 2,000 views. We wouldn't have done it without everyone's support. So be sure to continue that support tomorrow night as we go back live 6:30 Pacific, 9:30 Eastern, once again from Russia with our Division 1 race. So hopefully I will see you tomorrow night. Hopefully we can get closer to that goal of 175 followers. So 9 away, do what you can to try and help us get there. We very much appreciate it. But if you like what you saw, go check us out on YouTube as well. We'd love to see the followers and subscriptions there, as well as if you have a Twitter or an Instagram, just search up Midwest F1 League, and we will be sure to pop up on your feed. And as well, you can give us a follow there. Very much appreciate all of that stuff, so be sure to go do that for us. But like I said, no more racing for us here tonight. And with that being said, I will say our goodbyes. I have been Crash McQueen. We've been the Midwest F1 League. Hopefully we'll see you tomorrow night, and you guys have a good rest of your Wednesday or Thursday if you're in Australia or England.